Is not on, and welcome to another episode of Let's Have Our Conversation on the Average Black Man Show. Let me pull up the God dang it, I hit the wrong freaky button. Mike. So today we're talking about how people pass judgment on one each other, and is that judgment based on people's men and women's relationship that they have with sex. And I believe that it absolutely is. I think that the reason why men pass the judgment that they pass on women is because of men's relationship with sex. And what I mean by that is this: we as men, for us, sex is earned. Sex is something we have to work for. We have to have game. We have to have success. We have to have something to attract and appeal to women. So for us, sex is something that is valuable and obtained. But for women, it doesn't work that way because it's not hard for them to get it. They can just go outside and say, "Hey, you want to do it?" You look around. You for real? Me? All right, let's go. And so that's why for us, the, how many partners a woman has had matters to us because it creates a sense in our own minds, emphasis on in our own minds of how she values herself. Y'all can go have it out.
Um, I don't know. I think I kind of could agree with you on that because this is a our own mind thing. But what happens when you run across the guys that just don't really care about that? Like that's not even a conversation. And I think body count matters for men too. Like as a woman, I honestly believe that because it's like who I don't want to be with somebody who just been around with everybody.
Mm, Personally speaking, I've never really encountered um, a woman being too interested in my past or body count. My personal experience, to be honest, I think without admitting it, I think women typically appreciates the dude with experience. And how you gonna get experience? It ain't sleeping with the same woman over and over and over again.
What if she's a teacher?
Teachers like what?
A teacher to teach you how to have sex.
Yeah, but she's teaching you how she likes to be pleased.
Um, so when I talk to like my male friends and they talk about how they lost their virginity to either their mother's friends or just the older babysitter, that they most of them say that everything they know they learn from these women.
Yeah, emphasis on these,
No,
not
no, the woman that I'm talking about, like the mother's friend, which is an older woman, or the older
mhm.
babysitter. Because even though
A few
you could
years ago,
hold on, you can have sex with 20 women, but that doesn't mean you'll be able to please the 21st woman.
True, but the odds is high that you would be able to compared to if you only had sex with the one.
I mean, I understand that part, but
Yeah, because in my experience, I've learned a lot from different partners. You know what I mean? I've learned different things from different
what a
partners,
savage.
and and I've tried different things from what I learned in the past. Some was a pleasant surprise to the new partner. Some was like, oh yeah, no, I'm really not feeling that. really just depends.
I think the the biggest thing with men pleasing women is that they have to learn to listen to that particular woman's body.
Hmm. See, and I think that goes into kind of like the subject at hand, right? The
Mhm.
whole body count thing, because kind of like Tim mentioned, we have to we have to make ourselves be desirable. We have to make sure that we perform well enough so that the woman would does want to, give it to us again. Like, because for us, sex doesn't come as easy as it does to women. We have to make sure that we're doing the things that we need to do to keep them aroused, right? Keep our body in shape. Um, making sure that we're funny. Like all of these different things that I learned over time plays a part in a woman desiring you sexually, right? Because yeah, a man can be the most handsome, sexy dude, and then he start talking, and then now the woman don't want to do nothing with him no more. Flip that over with men. We could be turned off by her mouth, but if she's gorgeous, we still gonna want to hit that. Where women, that's not the same way. That's why body count is different when it comes to men and women, because we're just wired different. Most women, they don't care how fine that dude is. If he says something that turned her off, she's not gonna want to do nothing with that dude. Now, in my older age, I'm like that, where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm cool. Young age, when you just trying to dang near hit anything that moves, no. She can say all kind of stuff that like, oh my gosh, she's this, she's so that, but she fine though. So I still gotta see what that do. Women from a young age ain't never really been like that. Are there outliers? Yeah, but most women.
So a few years
I
ago,
don't know about that, man.
oh, go ahead, Pete. Go
I don't
ahead.
know
My
about
bad.
that.
Go.
Like, I really think, like, I think a man can say damn near whatever the hell he needs to say, especially if he's in a certain type of position, and the woman would still do whatever that they're gonna do because they're not really attracted to him. They're attracted to either his position or something else that he possesses. So I think that's a lot of what they're attracted to is either a person's status, um, like if he could provide for them or whatever the else is. I think that's where a lot of them that's just based on my experiences, but they are attracted to. You can have like three and four women as long as you could provide or do something for them. It's not gonna really matter.
Well, I think that's something different. Um, if I think that's talking about something different. If you're talking about, because you mentioned provide and all of that stuff, if we talking about just bumping uglies, then yeah, I would say that if you're strictly focused on that, like this chick got her own, she got her own everything, and she literally just looking at this dude, as far as like, oh my god, he's sexy, he's this and that. Then you start talking, she probably ain't gonna want to do nothing for him. She probably not gonna want to do nothing with him anymore sexually. But if she's looking at him as like, oh, okay, I like this dude's swag and this and that, and the things that he may be able to provide, then that's a different story. And even then, him saying some of that off the wall stuff, she may just charge that to his swag. So I think those are two different things. Because I think that's more of like if you're choosing a mate versus just a sexual partner.
Yeah, I can see that.
So a few years ago, I don't know if you remember, P, but well, not a few years, some years ago, in the early stages of Facebook, I made a post,
Mm-hmm.
and the post said, "Fellas, just the fellas, I got a question. I'm trying to prove a point. When you lost your virginity, was it your idea or was it her idea? And the vast majority of the men was like, it was her. 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 And the point I was trying to prove in that is that as dudes, we get this bad rap of, you know, watch out for these little boys. They just want to get between your pants. Watch out for these little boys. But when we were teenagers and we lost our virginities, it was her. It was her. You know what I mean? Like, dudes just want to ride bikes and play PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as we got that little piece, we got that little skeet off, we instantly became the cliche. Like, oh, I want to do that again. I want to do that again. I want to do that again. And that was, for a lot of us, that was the introduction to our relationship with getting busy. It's 100% on her. And from this moment forward, I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get her to let me do that again. If I gotta give her flowers, write her a song, write her a poem,
It's
talk to
so
her on the phone all night, I'm gonna do
it's
whatever
so
I gotta
weird.
do to get
It's
that to
so
happen again.
it's so weird that we have such opposite perspectives and opposite experiences because for me and my friends group and family, it was always the boy. They wouldn't start with the little humping and all of that stuff. It was always the boy. So it's like it's just so funny how we can have these different experiences from a different perspective.
Well, he said the idea. So I don't know if I agree with it was always the girl's idea because most of us as young boys, we hanging with these girls, especially girls we like, and we already are sexually educated enough. We may not have ever done anything, but we know sex exists. We know the basics of it. We have that idea already. It's just that as young boys, we probably nervous to make the first move, so they probably made the first move. But as far as them it being their idea, no, I think it's like one of those things where like we already know what it is. Like, okay, we young, you know what I'm saying? You a boy, I already know the sex is on your mind. So let me relieve you of this pressure and let me pop it off. And then next thing you know, they think that, oh, it's the girl's idea when it's like, no, she's just, since she's in that position of power, she took the lead.
Man, I get what you're saying,
Because that was
but
my experience. I
right,
already
but
had
that's
the
what I'm saying.
idea, but that
Right,
was my experience where she
but
took
that's
the
what I'm
lead.
saying. That was you. So there's experiences when people will walk home from school. All right, I see you tomorrow. All right, I see you in the morning. We're gonna walk to school in the morning. All right, I see you. And then one day it's like, well, you can come in. Like, huh?
Okay, but let me ask you this, because
Yes.
remember we're talking about the idea. So you telling me that you never had the idea of doing anything,
But
that you
you're
always
gonna
just wanted to play
always have the
Super Mario Brothers with her?
you're gonna always, like you said, the idea is just hormonal. But I'm saying as far as the idea of when I say the idea, I mean like the initiation. Because
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
because
saying.
because dudes always get the bad rap of watch out for these little boys. They just want one thing. Watch out for these little boys. But for in the case of the pool of my experiment, the vast overwhelming majority of dudes were saying that it was her. It was her ass.
But if that's the case, Timothy, is then sex by coercion would not exist.
Well, it only exists because dudes wasn't saying it was a problem. See, we come from a generation, and I'm pretty sure Meech and Percy can attest to this. We come from a generation where we were socialized to understand that if a girl said no, it meant no. But the minute she said yes, it's okay. So when this coercion stuff came in more recently,
That's not
us
recent.
come well, it becoming
It,
law
it
is very more recent.
right. I'm not talking about the law of it, right? Just the whole.
Well,
concept
just
of sex
the
coercive sex by coercion. That was around before you and I and everybody else on this panel was born.
the whole idea of coercing. If you don't do it, whatever if you won't do it, I can get another girl to do it. But from how it's been framed now, what we would call having game is now coercion
But that
because
wasn't like, if you think
because
about it, it
To
wasn't
me,
the
it's
really.
the
idea of
stupidest. It's the stupidest thing ever because everyone has to be, you know, what I'm saying, to a certain extent, convinced if to do
and
something with someone else.
that's the problematic word because convinced mean you're trying to get somebody to do something they don't want to do. If you walking down the street, hey man, I'm selling timeshares. Oh, I'm not interested. Wait, let me just a minute your time. They're trying to coerce you into doing something you don't want to do.
Yeah,
That's what it's.
they're
That's what it,
offering you. They're offering you. What's the word? Incentives and you know, enticement. To
I
me,
think that
there shouldn't be a law against that.
I think the
Coercion
whole
should be, I put a gun to your head, I'm gonna blow your brains out if you don't give me this.
right.
I think the whole problem with the issue is with sexual coercion is so many girls have lost their virginity to guys that didn't ever plan on sticking around, and they use the idea of, well, if you don't do it, I'm gonna have to go over here and somebody else gonna do it, and she just likes the guy that much that she just does it, and he, like, the next day he just acts like she doesn't exist and doesn't speak to her anymore, and so I think I think that's where the issue came in, because there's a lot of young ladies that lost their virginity that way.
Right. I don't know what's going on with you, P, but your stuff is broke. So this video right here, I want to go into some of the videos. This video right here is a person I've never met. I don't even know what state or city this person is in, but this is clear evidence that men share this same sense of understanding when it comes to relationship of getting down.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Charles.
You want to have sex?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Charles.
Hi, I'm Ashley.
Do you want to have sex?
I just saw this.
But what about the boys? What about the young men, or the young men that don't have a problem with getting sex? Like, women
No,
are
no,
just throwing their
right.
panties
But
at
it's
them.
right. But this is not about the dude that's not getting it. This is just to illustrate the relationship of how that we have with it. Like for the 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 writing across the screen says men approaching women. Then the next one says
Hmm.
this one says the first one says women approaching men. Then the next one says men approaching women. And like I mentioned before, for men it has to be something that's earned. For women, since you're in control, you have a completely different relationship with it.
But there, like I said, there's these men that don't have this problem. Like, literally don't have the problem. The problem is that some of them are just having to turn women down because they just know all of the right things to say. Because it is true that a woman knows when she wants to give you some, right? She just knows that. And like Meech said, it just takes like the next 15 minutes for you to say some dumb shit to make you feel like, yeah, I'm good on you. But then there's these men that they just have it when they don't have to worry about stuff like that.
All right, I'm gonna get to going through some more of these because I got
So I
quite
mean,
a few
what's your
videos.
question on that though? Because you said what about those guys?
Yeah, because it's
She's
like,
saying, what about the dudes that the
it
pretty
wasn't really a
boy that
question.
the yeah, the pretty boy that he ain't never had an issue with. He don't know he don't know what gotta have game mean because he just walk in the room and they be like, ooh, he fine here. You know what I mean?
Oh
You
yeah,
want a crumb?
exactly.
You want a piece?
Yeah, I mean, I've known a couple of them type of guys, and what's crazy is they really didn't exercise discernment. They had some of the most beautiful women and some of the most opposite of beautiful that you can think of. Um, that they was just taking it all. Whatever came their way, they was just taking it
which
all.
goes to my point, is that the relationship we have is different. He's taking all of it because he like, I don't, even though women may see him as, oh, I just want to give it to him. He's so, in his mind, he's like, if they're gonna give me free food, I gotta take it because I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get some more.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, Niche. I've seen that type, but then I've seen the ones that are very particular, very particular. Like everybody can't get it.
Yeah, the Marcus Grahams. I call him Marcus Graham.
Marcus, I'm not wearing any panties. All right, let's go through this joint right here. I'm playing them in no particular order. So I just put them all up. Well, oh, what's going on, Savage? Shout out to Savage. Let me see what he said. Man, we know that as kids, we was looking at those magazines Dad had under the bed. That's where it started.
Do they even make the magazines anymore? Because with phones, you got to
With
like
the phones, right?
palm of your hand.
You got to put child protection things on for the kids.
I believe they still make those.
All right, here we go. This dude got to act. This is from something, like I said, these is just I just picked a whole bunch of random clips.
The modern, educated, empowered, liberated woman of the 21st century, with the power of her finger, is reproducing exactly the same system that we see in gorillas or sea elephants. This system, a polygenic system, where only the males that are on the top reproduce and all the others do not. We start this chapter talking about the story of an American young man that the guy became kind of famous because he shared his Tinder stats. And he liked over 2 million profiles.
He liked over 2 million profiles. Wow.
He liked over 2 million profiles. Out of these 2 million profiles that he liked, he got around 1,000 matches. From these 1,000 matches, he got around 100 conversations. From these 100 conversations, he got one date.
Wow.
And there you go. That's that relationship. Now, when I saw this, I was like, I wish I could find one about women, because
but was it the dude? Was it the dude that they flashed real quick?
Yeah,
like with that,
the dude that they flashed real quick. Him.
I mean,
the average guy. He ain't.
Unless he was. I mean, he had to be liking some of the baddest of the bads. It's like one date out of 2 million women.
But that's the thing. So you think that he's to swipe on 2 million, you're not just getting 2 million of the baddest of the bads. There had to be some.
That's true.
There had to be some 5, 6s and 7. Just average, like, and for all we know, we don't even know if he was trying to shoot within his league. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. That's true.
Out of 2 million, yeah, there ain't gonna be a bunch of 8s, 9s, and 10s. So it'll be some average chicks in there. But it goes kind of back to what I was saying, and what Light was saying about the guys who are, who get all of the women's attention, and they don't exercise discernment. They smashing all of, what I'm saying, like that
every
dude.
Single one, right?
Yeah, that dude. Out of them 1,000 conversations, he probably knocked about 900 of them.
Which one of these dudes was the one hating?
That's the same dude. He got a hat and glasses on one side.
Yeah, the dude on the left.
Side, yeah, and then on the other side, that's the same dude on the right. That's the same dude.
This is the same
he
dude.
Lost some weight.
That's the same dude. Yeah.
You sure? No, he lost some weight or something.
You sure that's the same dude? It looked like that's what you call it, host.
Yeah, that's not the same dude.
That's not
like
the
he
same
a podcast host or something like that.
But yeah, so again, now remember, us as men, he swiped on 2 million. And then from those 2 million, he got 1,000 matches. So that meant that he had to rock with 1,000 women that rocked with him, because he picked 2 million. So out of those thousands, the ones that liked him were his options. Some of them might have been bad. Some of them might have not been bad. Some of them might have been real bad in the other direction. But he had to rock with who rocked with him.
But and as a person who's used online dating, just because you match with somebody, that don't mean nothing. Which is why he only got that one date out of there.
I don't know, man. Like his system was flawed. Like he wasn't doing something right. It don't and like why would you click on something 2 million times? I don't like that part. I don't even believe that part. Like
It's
when
he got on there and showed his it's a numbers game.
That dude had to be traveling.
A lot of dudes get on there and just do this.
Yeah, but to even have 2 million women in your vicinity, he had to be traveling.
Right. And that's probably what he did. He had a boat in one of the pictures.
But no, if you're online dating, you don't have to go nowhere.
You gotta first.
No, I'm talking about for the women to show up in your because I mean, unless he just put like a nationwide radius, but normally you put like a radius, like, okay, I don't want to see women outside of 50 miles.
Yeah, that's
he must have just did nationwide.
He had to.
I doubt that, bro.
Well, no, because men do that. Women do that.
Yeah, I get that, but 2 million people.
Somebody.
Yeah, I mean that's hard. I mean, but Tim said that he showed the proof that he actually, that he swiped on. He swiped right. So that's how many he swiped right on. So can you imagine how many he actually even presented themselves to even swipe left or right?
What does swipe right mean? Like
swipe right is like on Tinder, right? If you swipe right, that
you
means
like
that
them.
You like
it means
the person.
You like
swipe
them.
left, that means you reject them.
Okay.
The only way you're gonna get a match is they have to swipe right on you too. So if you swipe right on a person and then they swipe right on you, then that shows up as a match. If you both don't mutually like each other, you never show up as a match.
Exactly. And then once you show up as a match, at that point you can start conversing with each other. And at some point he had 1,000 matches. His mouthpiece wasn't good enough for 999 of them.
Right. Well, no, he had 1,000 matches that led to 100 conversations. And out of those 100,
he got one
day.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Like so I wish John was on, because he's currently doing the online dating stuff. So because he's told me things like, you'll start a conversation, it'll go for a while, a couple of days, and then a lot of time the women will just disappear, and it only your wheels automatically turn like, well, she must have got an option that she wanted. Maybe this dude that I really want to talk to, because we don't that don't really happen for us. we gotta like who like us. We don't have people just swiping on every, you know what I'm saying? And that's where we see that that back to that relationship with sex again, where we see a lot of women that are not attractive by what's the word I'm looking for? Not conventionally attractive. You know what I mean? Like, not attractive. There's not somebody like everybody,
aesthetically pleasing,
right? Not too cute, a little funny looking. But those chicks will have a dude swipe on them that's in, a top tier attractive dude, and he'll smash. Like we said, no discernment. Like, I can get as much as I get, but she'll take that as, these are the type of men I attract. So now this is my speed, even though I know I'm, even though in the mirror and everybody else that sees her sees an unattractive, unconventionally woman. For her, since this Michael B. Jordan dude cracked me, Michael B. Jordan type dudes are my speed from now on.
Yeah, it's like she thinks that's her.
She's in that league.
Her average thing, but I wouldn't say it's just the one dude though. She may get cracked by 2-3 of them.
Right.
Even
Well,
though
there's
she
that
got
three.
1,000 dudes in her DMs, she didn't let 2 or 3 of them crack it. Like, oh, I'm pulling these type of guys. So you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you feel like your level is. But I think men are
Right.
the same way though. Men are the same way as far as not necessarily sex wise, but as far as like who we choose to like really commit to and spend our relationships, turn into a relationship.
I don't know, but I'm like this. I know when we had Black Planet and we was sending out messages, you didn't really have to send out too many messages. And then I don't really think it really mattered like what the person looked like. Like if you're on that site to do whatever you on that site to do, like you're going to find somebody that's going to be on that same level. Like
Do you
I
see
don't.
my face, Fee?
Yeah, I see your face. I see your face. You know what I
He
mean?
took it back
I
to the Black Planet days.
I
No,
see your
no.
face, bro.
The reason why I made that face because I was right there with him, sitting at the computer next to him, hitting copy and paste. It's like me and him say we started the spam. We the first spammers of the whole internet, of the whole internet.
DM spammers out this bitch.
Right. Because when we was in Hollywood going to that studio trade school, the computer lab, we was on Black Planet. We young and full of hormones, and it's a school full of mostly dudes. So we on there like, okay, made a profile. We constructed we constructed a message. All right, boom. This is perfectly constructed. Copy paste. We ain't even reading
So
women's
y'all
posts.
had a
Copy,
generic
copy,
message.
paste, copy, paste, copy. Man, we talking about over 20 something years ago. The internet
Yeah,
was new.
I
We
Tim,
sending
I think you sent me that message.
Oh my god. Y'all had a this is crazy. So
man, but
I
this,
can't even get in this conversation like that because I've never been one to do the online dating.
Well, Black Planet, even though technically it was kind of
it
like that,
wasn't a dating app.
it
It
was
was
really
like
like a social
MySpace.
media site.
It was like
Yeah.
MySpace.
It was like the first Facebook. So it was like,
Yeah.
well, I guess you could say MySpace because MySpace
Right.
ended up blowing up after that. I never really got into MySpace, but Tim is who introduced me to Black Planet. I ended up meeting my second wife on there.
And the reason I was saying I was making that face, that P, like because we was throwing worms out on the hook, and whatever fish bit, we wasn't throwing the motherfuckers back. We wasn't throwing the motherfuckers back. We want to just be real. I'm being real. You talking about being real? I'm being real. It was so bad. It was so bad that it was so bad that we was like, it don't even matter. We got, I got something come over. Oh, something coming over. Cool. Let me go take a shower. Went there, poured our drinks. Like when they get here, it's going down. When they got here, we didn't even know what they look like. Come on, let's go in the room. Let's go. To the point when they came back.
I wasn't like that, but I did have some crazy experiences.
It was so bad for this particular night that I'm talking about. When they came back the next day, we was like, they came to the door. We was like, baby, help you.
Wow.
But like we didn't even know who the hell they were. Like who is
they like,
this?
what you talking about? We went and got some Starbucks. Like what?
Oh man, see, this the cold part about it. Like we must have been so gone off the look. What they talking about, the henny meat, because they went to the mall and went to photo makers and took pictures for us. We went and took pictures for you.
Y'all went and took pictures together?
It was the two, yeah. They like, and they came back. We took pictures for y'all. Like, what did we do? We must have changed lives that night.
Wow.
Yeah, that was that Uncle Paulie night right there.
Yeah. P saw the one he had. He's like, I ain't never drinking Parmesan ever again, and he has.
I ain't never touched that shit since, bro. I
Wow.
ain't drunk that shit since.
Wow.
Oh man,
That's why I'm glad I ain't never been no drinker.
Peace, Jose
I ain't never had them
Francis.
experiences.
Peace, Jose Francis. Peace, Savage. I see you in the chat. Appreciate y'all for showing up. let me move on to one of these next videos, man.
Y'all are horrible men. Okay,
No, we're just
No,
men. Remove the
Th- th-
horrible
and
because
see,
all
horrible,
of us is like this.
just
see,
horrible men. No,
see
not all
again.
men. Not all men are the same.
True.
See,
There's
but
a
this is the
small group that are
No,
wholesome, but
there's a
most
big.
men are
There's
like
a.
this.
Not all men are the
but
same.
see the
What makes us
lesson in
horrible
this
though?
though.
I was just talking about y'all generic message
Oh yeah.
and
See, but this is the
It
that's what
part
I
works.
was.
where
That's what I was
it
talking
goes
about.
about the relationship with sex. Because for us, we threw the worm on the hook and threw it in the lake. No
And y'all
matter
still
no,
didn't
no
have
matter what no matter what fish, if it caught a beluga whale,
right.
well beluga whale is gonna be a beluga whale
Y'all
tonight.
didn't have
If
any
it caught,
type of
if it was a
discernment.
catfish,
Like, you know
if
what?
it was
Like, nah, I don't want that. I'm good. You stay over there,
we
shorty.
we was on a desert strand. What was that picture we had? We was on a deserted island.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Y'all had no, you lying,
we
Timothy.
was on a
Hmm.
we was on a deserted island. We was on a deserted island, right? We were. You didn't hear the part when I mentioned that we were at a trade school for sound engineering. So predominantly everyone we were around were male. We are
Hardly.
heterosexual. So yeah, so that didn't work. So we had to go fishing
And like you there 13 hours of the
a
damn
day,
day.
right?
That's a
Right.
shame. Just horrible, man. Just horrible. No, I'm just
Nah, nah, you can't because you know what I mean. It was see. I'm gonna tell you this. That taught me a couple different things. For one, if you have something good and it works, keep repeating it. Rinse, wash, and repeat.
Repeat and
And
repeat.
that was just how it was, you know. So that's why I'm trying to figure out how this dude like did did a swipe 2 million times and they ain't catch nothing. I'm like,
But
what?
you gotta also think that that was a different. There wasn't no Tinder back then. Like we say, we talking about the the uh the precursor. We was in some
Yeah,
prehistoric online stuff. It was new.
let me
No,
on
but
Tinder
but
now.
basically
I
what
think the
Percy's saying
first one
is
was
it
the
still would have been higher than that one date out of 2 million.
right. It should have been. Like I'm even as a woman, I agree. But the first one was the hotline.
Oh
Oh, the party
yeah,
line,
First
the
the
party
one,
line.
party line.
the
Yeah.
party line. The party line got me sent back home.
Hmm.
Oh, I remember the party lines. I wasn't
I
on there
ran
long.
my
Me
uncle
too.
phone bill up to $1,000 on the party.
Hmm.
Turn the light on. Finish your homework.
Horrible. Horrible.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was my uncle was like, "You going home? You got
Hmm.
to
I got
go."
tricked on the party line. I had a meet. I met a very unaesthetically pleasing woman on the party line,
Hmm.
but had an amazing voice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what
see,
happened with
that was so
Kobe.
much of the culture. Remember Friday? I look like Janet Jackson.
Right, that's what
Right.
happened with
Right.
Kobe.
Right. Right.
Don't you ever come
Right.
back around here again.
Yep. And that's the same way I felt after that Paul massage. The same way. That's just, that was like my favorite scene of Friday. You know what I mean?
It's
Like, don't you
interesting
ever.
though because, like, for me, I've never had I've never had a time where there wasn't some dude just trying to talk to me,
Mm,
and I never liked the attention.
mm-hmm.
I didn't like it. You know how some girls like absolutely live for it. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I know one of those. I wanted one of those that by any means necessary, she got to get attention. It's the wildest thing in the world. I got a whole bunch more videos, so I want to get through them.
I think the women who are people, period, who crave that attention are people who don't get a lot.
Yeah, I guess because it was like it got to the point where one day my
I
son was
I
like,
know that she's talking about women, so let me go to. I want to go to a different one.
if I was a man, I wouldn't even try to talk to you because you walk around here and your face always screwed up. And so I had to explain to him, like I had to take him block for block. Like I had to take him to the things that I run into block for block. And then finally he kind of was like, yeah, okay, I get it now. I get why you try to have that face to deter them from trying to talk to you.
Right. I had to find some of these because I didn't want Light to be like, you play all the videos
You know,
with the
that's what
men
you do.
talking about the women.
But it's bigger business right now for men and other women to be talking about women than you really see people
But I'm
talking
not in
about.
that business. I'm not in that business.
Yes, you are. You
What's up, my
absolutely.
guys? Your body count definitely matters. The typical narrative around this is that it's particularly impactful for women because it interferes with their ability to pair bond. Look, I think body count matters more for women simply because we're the ones that control access to sex. But I'm not ready to say it doesn't impact a man's pair bonding ability as well. I'm no endocrinologist, but here's my simple logic. Oxytocin is the bonding hormone that we all share. It's a huge part of our reward system, and it's secreted in massive amounts during sex. Well, if you produce a bonding hormone in large quantities time and time again, but it never results in an actual bond, your body's reward system is going to get extremely screwed up, whether you're male or female. We all hear about dopamine detoxes all the time to help people reset their brains and rediscover positive habits. But we never think about the other hormones involved in that reward system and how they all coordinate. If your dopamine system could get screwed up, I imagine your oxytocin system can as well. So as much of some of this body count talk is true in targeting women, I don't think we can completely dismiss its effects on men. And if you're an expert on this stuff, I'd absolutely love to hear from you in the comments.
I don't believe in that pair bonding thing because pair bonding can come from your peer group. So just because I'm friends with you for 30 years, I can't be friends. I'm not going to be able to be friends with somebody else. It's weird. I don't. Yeah, I don't believe in the pair bonding thing. I'm not saying it doesn't work for some people, but yeah, I just don't. I'm not one of those people that believes in the pair bonding.
I never forgive myself for giving a nigga a chance after he bragged on having over 100 bodies. I never forgive myself for that, sis. What kind of lack of self-worth was you going through? You met a nigga, he told you he had over 100 bodies. Well, he working on himself, and he don't want to be a hoe no more. And you gave that motherfucker a chance. The wheels are turning in my brain right now. If I have a brain, that can make me feel like a fucking scarecrow. Bitch, where was your fucking head at, babe? 100 bodies. You should have ran. I should have literally ran 100 bodies. I screamed and ran. But I didn't. I gave him grace and understanding. If I tell a nigga that I got over 100 bodies, they will never give me understanding. Call me a skeezer to the day I fucking drop dead. Here's me giving a nigga a chance, a whole ass dog ass pussy ass nigga a chance. Fucking vagabond.
Yeah. Yeah.
I told you.
I think that was powerful, even though it was the whole point of that was what she said in the beginning is what men be saying. And if it sounded ridiculous coming out of her mouth, then it has to sound ridiculous coming out of men's mouth too.
I'm looking at though, but it's so weird because Diamond the Body has admitted to having over 2,000 bodies at 27 years old, and every time
And
you turn
people still
around,
want to crack her.
they still want. And some of these guys be wanting to be in real relationships with her.
Yeah, it's the same thing happened when Brittany Renner came out and said she was with 35 men. The internet was like, I'm trying to be 36. I'm trying to be 36. Shaq came out, I'll be 36, but they were just talking about smashing, not being with her. Let me play one that got I think I kind of remember this one. It might have a little bit more of a serious tone.
The joke will always be on men when it comes to the conversation about body count. They make such a big deal about it. It's such a requirement that your body count is low and you're not ran through and blah, blah, blah. But the reason why the joke is always going to be on y'all is because you are never going to know a woman's real answer. You're never going to know. And the funniest thing about that is men are so oblivious to women and the ways of women that they really think they can look at a woman and tell if her body count is high or if it's low. A lot of men will marry a woman thinking she's good, not understanding how much she used to, what they say, bust it wide open and lay it wide back in her day. But because she carries herself as a classy woman and has been for the last 10, 15, 20 years, you think she's a good girl. I can assure you that the women who you think are good girls aren't. And they never were. They may have changed or something, but they're not the innocent, pure woman or women that you think. And the women who you think are the most promiscuous because she wears booty shorts or she's always twerking or whatever, those be the women a lot of times that men cannot get ever. Like, I literally can use myself as an example. I will hop on a plane, go to Miami, put on some fishnet stockings, some booty shorts, and just be twerking all up and down the Miami Strip. And when men see me, they think, oh, she's probably easy. Look at how she's acting. 0 men get my phone. 0 men even get my attention. Most of the time I tell them I'm gay or I'm married or I'm terrified of men. Whatever I feel like saying in that moment, depending on the guys, you'll never get me. Imagine
Oh, so she's a virgin.
She might not be a virgin.
That's not what she's
Somebody
saying.
got her.
Right, but that's not what she's saying.
I know what
The
she's
whole-
saying.
Yeah.
I know what she's saying. But she to me that's like a game.
Why?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Why you think that?
To me, that's like she playing a game.
Well, why?
Why do I think that's playing a game?
Yeah, I would just like to hear. Can you expound?
So
on that?
why are you out there? Not necessarily not saying that she's a hoe or whatever, but putting yourself out there, you know what I'm saying, making, especially in this climate, right? Putting your body out there, which you know is going to attract all this attention, and then want to be like, no. To me, if you're out there twerking, you want somebody to see it.
Well,
So
maybe
therefore,
if,
you want the attention. So why, when the attention come, you like, no.
well, maybe because she enjoys dancing, or maybe that's just like how she likes to dress. I just, for the life of me, I said this the other day. How come men can't fathom that women do things for themselves and not always for the
We
attention of
can
men?
fathom that. We can.
A
But
lot of
when you
them
put
can't.
yourself in a public setting, who are you doing it for at that point? Miami, one of the places that's known for that. Places like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and all of that. Like, why are you putting yourself in this particular? Why are you putting yourself in those situations? Is what is my question. That's why I say that it's like a game.
Well, what situation is that? I'm out, I'm at a club, I'm dancing. I like to go outside. I like to wear short shorts. I like to wear low cut tops. That's not about men. That's about me. This is what I like to do. And I just don't understand. Like, so,
I got you,
because,
Jose.
because I don't want, hold on. I gotta come back. I'll be right back, guys.
I, I'm gonna send you the link, Jose. Now I'm kind of with her on that because just because of like if you go to a club and you see a chick wearing club clothes, does that mean she a hoe? Because club clothes is revealing, sexy, tight dresses, titties all bunched up like this. That's club attire. That's
To
you know what I'm
quote
saying?
an old Dave Chappelle joke.
Just because I look
If
like
I
a
was
police,
walking around in a police officer's uniform, would you think that I was a cop?
right? But and that entails lies the problem. Because that suggests
how we dress and how we
that
present
suggests
is
that
kind of like a
men are
uniform.
extremely that suggests that men are extremely naive and fickle and don't have enough mindset to say that I can't discern like, okay, because during Halloween we understand that a cop is not a cop. So why at Miami at spring break we can't discern that if she wearing a bikini and all of that and dancing and stuff that she's not a hoe? Like I get it. Like if Dave Chappelle was just out somewhere on the block, look like a cop walking the beat, yes, you'll mistake him for a police officer. But if he was at a Halloween party, no.
But we're not
If
talking
you're
about
in
Halloween party.
right, but
We
in
talking
Dave's
about these chicks
but that's
in
what I'm saying.
everyday
In
public.
Dave Chappelle's example, he was saying that in the club, he see a chick that got a shirt so tight that her titties is popping out the top of her turtleneck. She got on club clothes in the club. So so he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you know. Then he like, damn, look at the titties. And she's like, I'm not a hoe. He's like, okay, I get it. But if you see me wearing a cop uniform somewhere, but that's a different setting. Time and a place absolutely matters. Context.
I don't remember talking
absolutely
about the
matters.
club, but I don't remember mentioning the club, but I do remember him talking about the attire that's being worn, right? You know what I mean? It's just like take our background, right? How we grew up. There was certain attire that we could wear that would cause someone to walk up to us and say, "Where you from?" Based on that attire.
That's gang
So
culture.
the same
Though.
thing. So the same. No, regardless of his gang culture, because a white dude probably wouldn't have said that, but because there are certain people that understand, like, oh, this uniform means something, so it's gonna cause us to react a certain way. So what I'm saying is, like the lady said in the video, oh, if I want to go out and wear some fishnets and do all of this stuff and some booty shorts with my booty cheeks popping out, how are we able to discern which one of y'all is with the business and which one of y'all ain't? So of course you're going to attract that attention. You got to understand that you're going to attract the same attention of the other chicks. The same way if I'm walking around with khakis on and a rag hanging in my pocket, and I'm not a gang affiliated, I'm going to attract the gangsters, even though I'm not gang affiliated.
She didn't denounce or demean the attention. All she said was is when they do holler at me, I shoot them down, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to Miami to have fun. I'm dressed appropriate for the venue. Yeah, dudes gonna see me. They're gonna look at me and might think I'm this way, but when they try to holler at me, I shoot them down because I'm not that way. That's all she said.
But I think most women ain't that way, as far as they just give it to some random dude.
But that's the assumption, right? Once you have on that type of attire, most men think you're easy until they find out. No, I mean, I'm a woman, right? So I'm saying
I'm a man.
to you, right?
You're talking about what
you don't date, but you don't date men. You don't have men approaching you on the daily 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. You don't have that. So you would never be able
from the
to
outside looking in, it's better than from the inside.
Right, because men are not approaching you. So you would never know. Just like I would never know what it is for a woman to approach you, because I'm not a man. I don't date women.
Yeah, but that's like me telling you what women think when they're approaching me, and
No,
you as a woman are telling me, like, no, 9 out of 10, this is what she's thinking when she does this.
No, I'm telling you that when most men approach a woman, depending on what type of attire you have on, is where they think you are, or what they think you
but
are.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they think that you're easy.
No,
they may
do.
think like, okay, you may be, you may lean towards that way a little bit, but I'm still gonna have to work.
No, they really do think you're easy, depending on what you have on.
Most dudes that I know, they don't think that they're not gonna have to. Easy to me means like, oh, it's gonna take very little work for me to smash.
It goes back to what she said at the beginning when she was saying how the joke's on dudes, because a dude can see a woman and that he don't know from a hole in the wall, don't know her from nowhere, and see her dressed in a particular attire and be like, oh man, that's a classy woman right there. And when he goes to approach her, excuse me, miss, he gotta he gonna be all, but he don't know that woman just came from upstairs because she's an escort and she just busted all open, versus he sees the lady that we just watched wearing the booty shorts and all of that and the fishnets and all of that, and she is the actual type of woman whom he mistaken the actual escort for. all based on appearance. So that's why she said the joke is on men, and that's why I was saying, like what you were saying, it's making men seem very naive and simple. Because if that's all it takes for us to be like, oh, look what she got on, she a hoe, then we simple as hell.
Because a lot of y'all are.
No, men are very simple, not simple-minded, but simple.
No, yeah, a lot of y'all simple minded. Very much so.
Mm.
Very much
Don't
so.
start. Don't start, y'all. Shout out what's going on, Jose Francis. Welcome to the day.
Jose
Good night. Good night.
Francis.
Now,
Jose
number one,
Francis.
like it's 2026. You don't know how many men approach other men, whether they're gay or straight. That's number one.
Oh, come on. You
Oh,
should
that's
know.
a whole. But that's a whole nother.
That's a
That's
fact.
a whole nother
That's a
show we
fact.
could do
Oh,
because it's really
oh,
getting
That's
out
a
of
fact.
control. It's really, really getting
oh.
bad.
And number two, I heard my
Yeah,
brother.
pause.
I heard my brother say, if a woman is wearing if someone's wearing a police uniform, would you think they're a cop? There's no such thing as a whole uniform in 2026 like it used to be back in 1985. That's just clothes. They wear anything outside they feel like. And if you say something, you're a pervert. So they don't have whole uniforms anymore.
But you act like
So
women didn't dress
there's no whole
provocative
look
in
anymore.
1985.
They used to have a whole look. They don't have a whole look anymore.
You act like women didn't dress provocative in 1985.
Right. But we had a whole look in 1985. And part of the whole look was the jeans with no panty line, the high heel shoes. That was a whole outfit.
Jeans with no panty line?
Anyone with
He's not saying that they didn't dress provocative back then. He's saying that there was a clear differentiation.
Yes, hoes used to dress that way. You're going
Now he's saying there ain't no
hoes used to dress
differentiation because they all dress the same.
No, but back in those days, they had a whole uniform. The pum pum shorts, the bati riders, and all their breasts out. That was what you used to see.
Murder.
That's a fact.
The DJ for
We're all over 40, so you know exactly what I'm saying.
But
Now
listen,
you don't.
that
But
wasn't.
am I lying or lying?
But
Am I
no,
lying
but
though?
that wasn't seen as a whole attire
But am I
because
lying though?
I can go back to my mother's era when they were wearing hot pants and high boots.
Okay.
So these things don't never go out of style. They just only recycle with the generations.
So you're
But am I
saying women
lying?
in masses was wearing that?
No, but am I lying? That was a whole uniform back in
I
1985.
don't
That's a
I
fact.
don't I don't know. I mean, in 1985 I still was kind of young.
Timothy, am I lying? Timothy, am I
Let's bring it
lying?
to the
12, so
Am I
2000s.
I
lying,
wasn't
Timothy?
able to wear that type of stuff. And plus, my mom never had to worry about me half dressing. My dad didn't have to worry about that. I really was always almost just a tomboy. So when I did get dressed and did put some stuff on, people would be like, "Uh oh, wait, hold on, is that you?"
But am I lying,
When you
Timothy?
did put what on though?
Whatever I wanted to wear,
But give us some examples of what you're
outside
talking
of
about.
I
outside of
stepped
just.
away to help my daughter with her homework. I didn't hear what you said, Jose.
I said back in 1985, they had a whole uniform. Now in
I don't think they
2026,
were
they don't
really
have
old
one.
enough because they.
Prostitutes used to dress a
I was
certain way.
12
And
in
if you saw a woman like
85.
that, she was a prostitute.
How
With
old
with
was
the
y'all in
body riders
85?
and all those things. That's
What
what
about the fat
prostitutes
foreign
used to do.
jacket?
How
You
old was
You don't
know,
think
y'all
so?
in 85? Because I was 12 in 85.
Am I lying though, Timothy? If I'm
I'm
lying, then correct me.
asking, how old were you guys in 85?
I was old enough to know what a whole uniform looked like.
How
That's
old was
how
you
old
in
I was.
85,
85. And
Jose?
I didn't hear what you.
You had to be like
I didn't
9,
hear what you
I
Jose.
was
asked.
about
I had
8.
walked away to help my daughter.
I said back in 1985 and those times, they had a whole uniform. Prostitutes used to dress in the bati riders and those sorts of things.
You
And
was
I
like,
was met with a barrage of how would you know? Because I know.
how
And if
old?
I'm
You was
wrong,
like 9,
Timotheus,
right? You was
correct
like
me.
9 in 85?
But am I wrong though, Timotheus? Because you're a little older. You're a little older than me. So
He ain't, no, he not.
I,
yes, he is.
I was 5 in 1985.
Thank you.
My bad. So
well,
is
I
there
can tell you
anybody
this.
older than 40? Is there anybody older than 49 on the panel?
I can
Me.
tell you this right here. That if you was driving down Figueroa back then, you knew who the hoes were and who the hoes weren't. If you
Thank you. I
Exactly.
know I knew.
if you was on a stroll, you would exactly know. who's who.
And
So
they
I,
look like the one-legged chick from I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
there you go.
But
Or
with
they
two
had
legs.
the bubble jacket in the 2000s. That big ass jacket.
Right. So
All
it
of them
All
makes a
right.
had that one.
difference.
So wait, wait,
Right.
wait, 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 wait. So this is a lady that her content is that she wears clothes from back in the days, right? So this is her wearing something from the 1930s, 1940s called a polka dot blue polka dress. Boom. I'm gonna just let it play. It's a song playing, so I got the words off on it. So we us looking at this dress, this looks nice and classy to us and all of that. But in the 1940s, they'd be like, "You harlot! Look at that split. You got your thighs and your knees showing. You are a hoe. This is some hoe. What the hell are you doing coming outside looking like this? You should be ashamed before yourself. This is a
Exactly.
shame before God.
I think
This is a
fashion
shame before
just
God.
evolves, right? Because when
Exactly.
my
That
mom
split,
was
that split, that slit right there, that was risque.
right, so I think fashion just evolved because, like, in the 70s, my mom was like really a fashionista, so she would wear those type of dresses that would be cut down to the navel or cut down to the right there to the bottom, the lower small of your back. So she wore those type of things because she didn't, she hung out in places like Studio 54 and places like that. So it just really kind of depends. But men weren't just like how they are today. Today men are really weird. Like, it's a weird thing. Even when I was coming up, the way it's happening now, it just wasn't weird. It wasn't as weird as it is now.
Define
Very,
weird.
very weird. Like, men have so much to say about women today. They didn't, when I was coming up, when I was a teenage girl, men didn't really have as much to say as they. It's like now they're trying to put women in a space, in their place. You got to be in your place, and it's too late for that.
Yeah, I don't know who says that, but
Mhm.
Well, that's what we call quote unquote toxic masculinity, whatever that means. I don't know. I've heard that of late, whatever that means. I don't know. You have to define that for me. I wasn't raised with those terms. That's why I'm so confused. Long ago, we had gay, we had straight. Now we have gay, we have straight, we have quadrilateral, we have bilateral, we have unilateral, we have rhombus. I don't know what the hell does all that mean. I have no idea.
It's
well,
so much.
masculinity
I don't
became
know.
toxic because the liberated woman doesn't like it.
A man coined that term, not a woman. He made that up. He came
Well,
up
he
with
was
that.
toxic too then,
men
and he should have
men
shut up.
coined it. Was the men's metho poetic men's movement in the 1980s. It was a group of men that wanted to have men become better men by recognizing their issues and promoted therapy, and they promoted communing together as men. And they would go on retreats. They would sit around fires and unload trauma. And it was them that coined the term toxic masculinity, like how men will tell little boys that are 3 and 4 years old, stop crying and act like a girl, and punching them in the chest as little boys, stop acting like a punk. That that child is just a baby being a baby, but it
Uh
was a it
oh.
was a it was a group of men that started that in the 1980s. I got a
Uh
whole video that I did on it.
oh. So it wasn't
Okay,
because of
well
women, right?
I've never heard the term until recently, and I think they're overdoing it now. Anything you say that women don't like, you're toxic. Come on, man.
He said it was
Yeah,
because women
regardless
didn't
if the
like
men coined
it.
it or not, I'm saying the reason why it still exists today because women is the ones who keep it
It's been
alive.
repurposed. It's
Well, listen.
absolutely been repurposed.
I mean, all of it is being repurposed, right? When you look at feminism, which was also coined
Yeah,
by men, right? You have what is the other one? Incel,
Incel
uh
was coined by a woman.
sign language was started by a woman. Now men use it. So it's all of it is being flipped around.
Right.
And
But
it's
listen,
that's the weirdo-ness that's happening in
Crazy
2026.
crazy thing about incel is that incel was coined by a women about women
Right.
that were not having sex.
And then that's another thing. You see how the beginning of your video is saying women can go outside and just be like, let's have sex, but there are women who absolutely cannot get sex.
And I'm pretty
That's a
sure
damn
they didn't
lie.
look like the woman that was in that video.
That's a damn lie. Like,
No, it's
any
Yeah,
not.
woman,
It's
that's
any
not
a
a
woman
rare
lie.
can go
case.
outside.
It's
Somebody
I
can
not
mean,
go.
but
rare.
like you
If a
always like to focus on the exception. Yes,
but
there
if a
are women
woman,
who
no,
exist
no, no, no.
that,
If a
but it's
woman,
not a large group of women
no, there
who
was
can't
a,
get it.
absolutely a large group of women. Timothy, please explain it to, because it's like when I say stuff, I just don't know what I'm talking about. A woman coined it. She had a whole website. There were people like everywhere, women from everywhere that could not get sex. Women can't always get sex, and that's
When
just
I
that.
say large group, let me clarify what I mean.
I know you
I'm
don't. I
talking
don't.
about percentage,
Here we go
percentage
with
wise.
this. Here we go. Here we
But why
go.
could
I'm
Here we
just trying to
go.
tell you how my mind works.
I get
Percentage
it.
wise,
I get you. I get
I
how
but
get
why
your
that there
couldn't
mind
may
they
be
get
works.
sex?
60,000 women who can't get sex,
I
and yes,
get
that's a
you.
large number.
I
But
get
Why
you.
couldn't they get?
when you put that to 5 billion women, no, it's not a large number.
Well, how about 2 billion women can't get sex?
That's a
That's a
lie.
damn lie.
All
That's a
right
lie.
then.
That's a
Why do
lie.
y'all think it's a lie? Like you
What do you
say,
mean? Why do we think it's a
Nah,
lie?
I'm not believing that.
I bet you not.
Cause
Two
listen, a
billion women
I
woman.
bet
cannot
you
get
Listen,
you
sex?
won't. We
Man,
don't know.
please.
We don't know.
listen. Like a
We
woman can come
really don't
outside.
know.
A
Huh?
Okay,
woman can come out.
let's not make
Oh,
up an
All right, so let's not make up a
unrealistic
low
lie.
percentage of 60,000. Let's not do that because we
right.
don't know.
No, we can do that.
No, we
If you're
cannot.
gonna put out some stuff that's supposed to be factual, let's you know what I'm saying, get into the nitty
No,
gritty.
no.
Where it's
We
like,
only
no,
so we're
yes, it
gonna
may
go
be a
with a
large
lower
number
number
of
to
them
fit your
by numbers wise,
narrative,
but
right?
percentage wise, it's not.
To fit your narrative, right? You always do
No,
that.
it's not a
Listen.
narrative.
That's what you
It's
do
not
all
a
the time.
narrative.
Let's
You
It's
be
do
not a
that all
now.
the
narrative.
time.
Now let's be honest. Like a woman can come outside with one leg and one eye, and somebody's gonna sleep with her. They ain't gonna tell the family. Somebody gonna sleep
You
with her.
see what happened, and I'm gonna get you
Shut
sucker.
up, Tim.
Somebody gonna sleep, and guess what? He probably slept with her too.
Shut up,
So
Tim.
he probably slept with
I
her.
well, I
And
didn't even say.
reality, he would have slept with her too. He wouldn't be
I'm
the
just,
shock would have eased. You
I'm just
already
saying
there.
he
Nobody
ain't
know.
he
Nobody.
ain't lying.
Shut up.
Listen, a woman can come
See,
outside
that's
with one leg and
crazy.
one eye,
You
and
ain't
somebody's
even
gonna
gotta
sleep with
say
her.
no more.
That's a fact. Come on, we seen it.
No, but that's the problem. Like
The
even
women,
with
all kind
me,
of women
right?
can
As a
show half
woman,
a body, but man
listen,
still sleeping
listen.
with them.
Even
Yes.
with me as a woman, I never could fathom that
Do your
men
homework.
did not have access. I didn't know so many
Yeah,
men didn't
do
have
your homework.
access to sex.
It's a
Don't
fact.
kick her. I'm busy. Y'all gonna get in trouble.
It's a
I
fact.
just, that's something that I never would, I always just was like, yeah, I never would think
Yeah.
that so many men didn't have access to sex.
But how would you think that based on your own experience? You sat there and showed your son, hey, let me walk out, and then look at all of these dudes trying to
Well,
holler at you.
I mean, I'm not being funny. Like I'm an attractive woman, and
No.
especially when
I'm
I
not
was
talking
younger,
about. I'm
I
not
was
talking about that.
very attractive.
I'm talking about the nature of how the world works, right? Where men are the hunters, just like it showed in that little what was that little poster or whatever. Men are the hunters, and women are the ones who get hunted, right? So yes, when you think about it, if you're not a good hunter, you're not going to eat. So yes, there's plenty of men that don't get sex like that,
Yeah, I
but
just
women are
never
the
would
prey.
have. I would have never thought that. Like I would have never thought that because just based on my own environment, I just didn't think that. Yeah, I didn't think that that happened like that.
So based on your environment, everybody just busting
Everybody
everybody
fucking.
down.
Everybody fucking. Everybody got babies. Everybody, young kid, young, right? Everybody was just doing it. So it wasn't a big thing. Remember, I grew up I was a teenager. I was 16 by the time, shit, what, but before the 90s came in. So I, yeah, I just, yeah, and men didn't mind giving money to women. It was just a different time and era.
And why you think they didn't mind giving money to women?
They didn't care. Money was there. It was abundant.
You don't think that was a transaction?
No, it didn't have to be always. It didn't always have to be a transaction,
It
especially
may
if
have
you were
been.
in a relationship with a girl. A man didn't mind giving you
If
money.
they're in a relationship, true. But we're not talking about their relationship.
It wasn't. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
You
that's a
talking about
different
in a
story.
relationship?
Well, that's a
Mm.
different story.
Yeah, that's a different story. Like, what
No, I
man don't
mean,
give his woman money in a
a lot
relationship?
of men don't give their women money in a
I just
relationship.
I just looked at
I
the
mean,
rest of
yes,
these
I know there's a
videos
lot of
and they
men,
say
but
the
I'm
same
talking about
thing.
just like regular dudes. You in a real committed relationship, and if you got the money to give, there's not very many men that's not going to give his woman some money to make sure that
A
she's
lot
taken
of
care of and
men
all of that.
that don't give their women
I
money.
understand that there's a lot,
More women are giving money to
but it
men.
ain't 50%.
There's more men, more women are giving money to men these days.
It's all relative because the fact of the matter is, if we got a whole, it's like for a lot of these points, I'm a person that likes to call out the you can't have it both ways joints. Like there can't be a group of people saying, women ain't taking care of men, but then in the next breath be like these Pookies and Ray Rays is living off of women.
Right.
Like that's a contradiction right there out the gate. You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? You know what I'm
Listen,
saying?
man. This kind of goes back to the do-rags and bonnet conversation because long
Man, I feel
ago,
attacked. I feel attacked.
no, because long ago curlers and head ties was something that you didn't wear outside. Spandex was not an outside thing. Now all of a sudden you go into the gym, you're looking around, you're damn near naked, and then if you say something, now you're a pervert. Why are you outside in your
If
drawers
you look, you're a
in the
pervert.
gym
That's the
working
crazy
out?
thing about it.
No, but why are you
That's the part that's
outside?
crazy.
But why are you outside with 3/4 of your bouncy cheeks, as we say in Trinidad, hanging out? And then when the man say hello, he's a pervert. Why is this young lady twerking all over the place? That's hoish behavior. And she's
My
saying
whole
she's
Well,
saying
thing
in the
is,
no.
Caribbean islands, that's a thing. Like the Caribbean
see,
islands, yeah, they teach their children how to wind their hips from the time they can walk. So I don't understand how y'all look at that
No,
like
no,
that.
no, 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 no.
well,
Whining is something that was
It,
given freely until they passed the law because nasty man was damn near dry humping women in carnival, and now she says no, you can go to jail for that. It is now sexual
but I'm
assault.
saying that's a cultural thing.
But it's
The
now
who,
the
sexual
dances,
assault.
the
who's
Men have
dances,
ruined it.
Caribbean?
the dances
Men
are
have ruined it.
sexual.
Yeah, but
Who
men have
who was
ruined it.
Caribbean though?
But
You
listen,
don't
I've
hear
been in
his, you don't hear his
listen,
accent.
you don't hear that
listen.
man accent.
I'm living in Trinidad, and men have ruined it. If I whine on a woman now without permission, I can go to jail for sexual assault because man was dry humping woman. And now, for the past couple of years, it's illegal. Men have ruined it. That's a fact. You can't do that anymore. You have to ask permission. That's a fact. You can go to jail for that now in Trinidad and Tobago during Carnival because men are
Mitch, you could not
ridiculous.
hear that boy's accent in how he's speaking right now about Trinidad. You couldn't
But
hear
I
that
I
man's
am
didn't I didn't
accent.
know
from
he was talking about Trinidad. I
but
hear
I
his accent. I
am
didn't know he was talking about Trinidad.
but I am from Brooklyn, just so you know, before you start to call me a tether. Because that's the new thing now. I was born in Brooklyn. I've been here for over 20 years, so you're going to hear the accent.
So are you
So
talking
men have,
about the women that you're talking about? Are you talking about Brooklyn or are you talking about Trinidad?
I'm saying when you're in Trinidad, when I first came here, you could
Mm-hmm.
whine freely on women. It was no problem. But a couple years ago, they passed the law that says that is now sexual assault because men were overdoing it. They were dry humping women. They were doing too much. So
Mm-hmm.
men have ruined it for other men. It is now against the law. It's as simple as that. You can go to jail for that now. And that is a prime example of what we call tusty man in Trinidad. They're doing too much and they ruining the culture.
Oh yeah, I've seen some crazy videos. I've
And
seen
now
videos where chicks were naked
and now it's
and
getting
they
to the
was doing
point
that.
where
And see
now
that
it's getting to the
that
point
see
where
rules and laws like that are go back to the reflection of the topic of how men and women have this difference of how we have these relationships with sex, because women, for them, they have to fear men in some instances. So that goes back to what we were talking about with like wearing clothes and all of that. Like granted, I'm a person that don't believe that the whole dress in a certain type of way mean anything, because through my own life experience and things that I've seen, the way a woman's dressed don't got shit to do with how a woman's gonna act. because
I
a
agree.
dude can have a woman and see her about to wear some booty shorts. I thought, baby, can you go change? That's inappropriate. And she could say, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt uncomfortable. She go change her clothes. Okay, what you think it is? And you like, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then she leave and go smash and have an affair. Like what she got on is not gonna change. Like what you know what I mean? Like
Right, but herein lies the problem. You met her dressed that way. She had 13 booty shorts and she had 1,000 booty shorts in the closet. You never had a problem with it. Now all of a sudden, she can't wear booty shorts. You met her in the strip club. She was out there shaking dollars. That's how you met her. Now all of a sudden, you expect her to quit. That that's the problem. You have to communicate. You can dress this way now, but when we are in a relationship, I don't want to see you doing that. You can't encourage it and then want to change her. That is how you met her. That is what you attracted to her. Now, if she was dressing like a nun, that's a different story. But she probably had on a pair of booty shorts when you met her. She probably had on a miniskirt. She was
Right, you
probably
can't
hanging.
change the
She
game
was
in the
probably
ninth
hanging.
inning.
She probably had the pookie in a stranglehold when you met her. Therein lies the problem. You didn't express that would have been a problem 5 years down the line because it was all good when you met her.
I always say this, Jose. That's like going to the strip club, meeting a stripper, dating her, and then 6 months in, you're like, I don't want you dancing no more.
It's not a
Yeah,
problem,
like
but
old boy in the Players Club.
it's
To me,
not a
that's retarded.
it
it's not a
was no
problem,
funk
but
club when
Any
you
woman
met
that I
me in
meet,
it.
I think it should
I
be.
observe, and then I decide whether or not she for me or not. Like I'm not finna try to change.
Well, listen, I think it should be established if there's a point where you think she should stop doing it. Don't drop it on her. Say, listen, I'm cool with it now, but if it gets serious, I'm not comfortable with it, and let her make the choice. You understand? If she was dressing like a nun, she was dressing like a nun. That's a different story. You don't want your wife to be dressing that way. You cool with it, and then 6 months later, she dressing frowsy with some of these little funky, holy hoodies and sweatpants. You don't want that neither. You don't want that neither. She can't be coming. She can't be coming to bed in one of them grandma house coats with the one button missing in the front. We don't want that necessarily. You understand? We have to draw a line somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you outside looking that way. It was cool then. It's not cool now. You understand?
All of,
She either says
all
yes
of
or
that's
no,
still
and we
built.
move on.
All of that's still built on the relationship that we have with smashing. That's why
Of
and I can
course.
only speak from a I can only speak from a male's perspective because that's the only thing I got. You know what I mean? But just from me having sisters and a plethora, a long line of homegirls and having these conversations, uh, a a lot of it is just like I said, it's just what men make up in our own minds because we treat and value smashing differently.
Of
And
course.
for whatever reason, if a woman don't give it up real quick, something inside of us says, okay, she's a little better than the one that just gave it up real fast. And that
Well,
may not, or that may or may not be true, but that's just how we register it because of our
but
relationship we have with smashing.
well,
I think some men are feel like that. I ain't never felt like that though.
I think sex for a woman is more mental than physical, and
Most
It
therein
definitely.
is,
lies a problem that men
it
don't
is very
understand.
much more mental because
Orgasms don't come just
if
because you're
we,
having sex
yeah, if we
orgasms.
got something on our mind,
Exactly.
or if you in the middle and dude just make one wrong move, it can kill the whole thing.
Yes. But women need to stop faking orgasm and tell their man this ain't working. Stop faking it. Tell him it's
Well,
not working. Don't fake it for 10 years and get mad.
I think women fake orgasms because they don't really want to hurt the guy's feelings, especially if they like.
Well, stop doing that because you're hurting yourself. Tell him you uh, teach the man what to do. Stop faking it. And
Listen,
don't
I
fake
don't
it.
have a problem with saying, yeah, I'm good.
Right. But don't fake it for 3 years and blame the man. We're not smart enough sometimes to know when you're faking. Some of us are just not. We don't know. So stop faking and tell the man the truth. Don't get mad at him and then tell him his wee small and he wasn't doing it right. You could have told him that 2 years ago. Don't get mad and tell him that. Tell him up front, listen, you ain't doing it right.
You get
You're
mad and be
wasting my
like, "What's
time."
your whack ass dick? I never came, motherfucker."
Right, it's not my fault.
Look,
I
and
got
And
then
to
see
work
what
and
she
you got to
just
get
said.
yours.
That's powerful too, because that gives credence to the idea that Pookie and Ray Ray is putting it down. Because
Of
if
course.
the statistic it says that most women don't have an orgasm from vaginal intercourse, so if somebody come through and do it, you lost her, bro.
It's facts. That's a fact.
but also though, Timothy, is sometimes hold on, y'all.
Well, listen.
Sometimes it ain't always about sex though.
So what is it about then? Because I've never been
Sometimes the
involved in
person
sex.
just makes you happy. Like, they sometimes it ain't always about sex. And that's why some women just deal with it because it's not always about sex. And
Well,
some women don't even like sex.
men do. Women have to understand that.
Huh?
I don't wanna get involved with a woman and she loved Jesus and she invite me over to her house and we had to read the Bible and watch Billy Graham. No, we're not doing that. That ain't making no sense. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna smack the Bible out of her hand and tell her, you know what's going on. You knew
Like,
I was a heathen when you met
yeah,
me.
you get that
So
phone.
don't get mad. Now, you know I was a heathen. You know I was
Yeah.
a straight heathen. You know I was a heathen, girl. You know I don't want to read John 3:16 every time I come over here. So you need to stop, or you need to let,
I just
or
think
you got
it's
to do
like
something
it
about that.
depends on the person, right? Because you have these men that absolutely love whores. They love them. And then you have men that won't even deal with them, won't even look at them twice. So I
Well,
just think it just kind of depends on
And
the
I
individual.
think that falls into like what Meech be saying, like an outlier thing. Like, yeah, we know that they got dudes out here that love them. That's why they exist. There's a market for them, but you don't see a lot of dudes. Or I can't even say that because I can't say definitively because I don't know everybody, but just from the circles that I'm around, at work, and I work with a lot of clients and
The
customers.
discussions we've had.
Yeah, that is right. It, you know, it's like when men say they love a hoe, that's what they mean. Don't, but that love doesn't equate to the love that he
But
would want to have with his
hoe and
wife.
whore is interchangeable in the
Right, right, right. When I'm
community.
I'm speaking in the,
You
I'm
know what I'm
speaking
saying?
in a colloquial sense. I'm not talking about the streetwalker you finna go, but I'm talking about in the colloquial sense. The whole,
Okay.
I'm talking about the chick that she didn't smash a couple of dudes that in the past and all of that, and so you feel like you know, and as men and that's why I be saying like the man's body count don't matter. That's a lie, because as men we know that right now there's a homeboy you got right now that you will absolutely not smash behind. like I ain't never gonna smash behind that fool. So we know that. So men's body count absolutely matters too. So it's just
Yeah,
the
but I
relation.
think
It's just the relationship that we have with sex. Is why we put so much judgment on the opposite sex.
listen.
I'm just like, even with the men that are married and they got the wholesome wife, or even if they're not married, they got the wholesome girl at home. They usually out trying to smash what we would call the
The
whore.
colloquial whore.
Yeah.
But listen, the one thing you should never do is ask a woman or ask anyone a question they're not ready for the answer to.
Because I think
So
these
I'm not
men,
gonna ask my wife how many men she was with. I don't really care.
I think these men be wanting like freaky virgins. It's so weird. Like,
Right.
It's a lot of romanticizing behind it, and usually romanticizing is born from the not knowing or not experiencing. So, uh, and especially it's more especially weird when it's dudes in our upper age group that is want to act surprised that a woman his age got busy throughout her life. Yeah, that's
Well,
just an asinine thought to think like you had sex with people before you
I think
met
those are
me,
the illogical men, though.
and you're 45,
But there's
46. Oh
so
my
many
God.
of
I
them. There's so many illogical men. Like I saw this video once, Tim, and I don't know if you can find it, but I probably not. They got all the young dudes with the nice bodies, and they have these little things, little reels, and the dude was like, "Yeah, I don't want to hear about how many men she slept with." And such and so, I forget what else he said. He said, "Because I was in kindergarten at the time. I don't care."
what? Wow.
Yeah,
It was the
she's talking
younger
about the
dude.
YNs.
Yeah, it's
She
the
talking about
younger
the
dudes
Cougars, the
that like the
YNs. Yeah,
younger dudes that like older women.
yeah, but that goes back to the overall thing of what I've been saying, and I don't know if the fellas agree with me or not. It boils back to there is a distinction for men between women that will love because we love them because of it's fun versus the women that we love because we want her to be a part of our lives. So I could love it. I could have a hoe and I could love the hell out of this. So go out and have fun, do all kind of spontaneous stuff, do it on the roof of the car, do it under the bleachers. You know what I'm saying? And I love her. She my boo, but I have no intention of having a family with this woman.
But if that's the one that you'll always go out and cheat on your wife with, why not just be with her?
He just told you why.
Because we don't value her that way.
But that doesn't make sense because now what happens is you don't really have this powerful sex life with your wife, and you're going out every chance you get to go be with this woman instead of just not being worried about what society says and go ahead and be with this woman.
And
I
this
don't think it's
this
about what
instance,
society says.
right, this instance is where we get into the men's logic and the women's logic, because the men's logic is I love this woman, she my wife, we'd have been through thick and thin, but her food is nasty. So I got this favorite restaurant. Every chance I get, I'm gonna go eat it. Me eating at that restaurant don't
Okay,
mean
who
I love and
who
value
is
my
not
wife
cheating
any
on
less
your wife?
because, huh?
Who is not cheating on your wife?
You're missing the
No,
analogy.
I didn't miss it.
You're
I'm
you're
trying to get you
focusing
to
on the
stick to the.
analogy. You're
I didn't miss
focusing
the
on the
analogy.
analogy when I
You,
explicitly said that it comes to the difference in men's logic and women's
right,
logic.
and I
So
didn't
in
miss
men,
the
so
analogy.
right,
I'm just saying that that's no comparison.
but because that's the different logic
Men's
that you
logic
have.
and women's logic. You just
Hey,
proved that
right?
There's
point.
no
Yeah,
comparison to that. Like you can't even
the logic I'm
compare
talking about.
you
You
Ever,
just
going
proved this
out.
point.
You
you
can't
do know,
compare. No, understand. You can't
you do know,
compare
like
you going to eat
when
at
You
a
just proved this
restaurant.
point.
when
We
he
think
You
said
can't,
differently as men.
okay, you can't compare a man going to a restaurant or even a woman going to a restaurant with you having a full-blown relationship with somebody else. There's no comparison to that.
you know what?
It's not a full
All
blown
the men on this
relationship.
panel
It's going to get
understood
the wham
exactly
bam.
what he said
No,
what he meant
because
when
a
he said
lot of
that.
times
Hold on,
these
hold on. Hold on.
a
What you
lot of
say,
Hold on,
times
Jose?
Jose talking. We over
I
talking him.
was
Go ahead.
talking. I was talking the whole time. A lot of times men have whole full-blown relationships with these other women.
We're not talking
Women
about
do it
those
too.
times though.
No, because if she want to steer it there, I can steer it there too. And women do it too. They got
I agree.
they got the
I
they got
agree.
the, they got the dude that's my friend, and and they may not never have sex with him, but they will absolutely have an emotional connection with this dude
And
that she don't have with her
I have
husband.
no pushback towards that. I
Right.
have no pushback towards that.
So so
That
the
absolutely
only
happens.
difference so the only difference and the distinction in what we're saying is that for the men it involves intercourse, and for the women it doesn't involve intercourse. And since that isn't there, somehow what the man is doing is just absolutely more atrocious, more egregious, because he's
I mean, because
actually
you're literally sharing your body with
e-
someone else and
e-
outside of your
even
marriage or your
even
relationship,
even
Timothy.
even though if he can be balls deep down in that woman and his phone can ring and his wife is like, I'm stuck on a road with a flat tire, he will slide out and leave because he
Or,
don't care about
or,
that woman. She's
Or
just
he
serving that
might,
person.
or he might just call AAA.
Yeah, you got okay. You just
Whatever it is, he's taking care of home first.
you just gotta have some. You just gotta have whatever.
I mean, because I've seen it. I've seen it.
Whatever it is,
This
he
is not
still
something
took
that
care of
I haven't.
home first.
You
Whether it's
know,
AAA or he
I
left.
And
always,
if he right,
Timothy,
there
as
you
I
go.
always tell you that I was raised around a bunch of men. In my family, peers, all of it. I've been around every range of men that there is, right? From the super good dude to the bottom of the barrel ain't shit dude. And I've seen these scenarios play out time and time and time and time again.
Okay, so where's the lie in what Tim just said?
I never had any pushback with him. I didn't have any pushback with him. I agree with everything he's saying.
So what was the AAA part about then?
I said because he may not slide out of it, he may just call AAA.
Oh, just for argument's sake. Got it. Okay.
No,
That's what
but
I
it's the
said.
truth.
That was
But
just
no, it's
argument's
the
sake,
truth.
right?
It's
But
literally
it wasn't needed though, is my point.
It's the truth though. Like while we're having a conversation, I'm allowed to speak the truth, right? Thank you.
Okay, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that doesn't really add value to what we're saying.
It does. It only doesn't add value to what you're saying because that's the part that a lot of you motherfuckers don't want to be
Man's
told.
logic and woman's logic. Point proven
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't add value. Like
It doesn't
you just basically
so-
saying that he could have handled it a different way, but he still chose wife first. Didn't add any value or take anything away. Like if he could have called AAA, he could have left. He could have did whatever it does. Wife was first. That's the man's
I
logic.
mean,
Wife
but
came
if he,
first.
but if he don't, because I would say if wife is first, I would go with Timothy's thing. Slide out, jump up, go get your wife. But if you're gonna
No,
be
not
like,
necessarily, because
hold
just like
on
he
a second.
said,
Hold on,
AAA
I'm gonna
may
call
get there
AAA for you,
first.
baby. Because in my mind, I'm
AAA
still
may get
getting
there
this
first
snack.
for it.
I'm still
But
getting
just
this
like you
snack.
said, AAA may get there first.
Listen, I'm still
All right,
getting this
so
snack.
wait. I'm finna play her game. So this man loved his wife so much that he thought ahead and got a AAA subscription. So in case he wasn't there, she would still be protected. But the hole that he got laying under, you don't got that. You don't got AAA for her. That's the difference in the man's logic and the woman's logic that
But
I'm illustrating.
what happens when you have these men that absolutely are doing the same for both women?
Though that's
Then
a
they
that's
got
a
it like
different
that.
conversation. That's a different
They
conversation.
still have a favorite of the two. Trust.
But they still do the same. I cop her one, I cop you one too.
Okay, but they still have a favorite of the two.
I mean, no,
Regardless.
they're favorites and based on the categories of being a favorite, right? Because she can't cook, but
But
she
there's
can
still
suck
going to
a
be
dick
one
and
is
hook a
still going to
steak
be a
up,
priority. So let's
right?
remove the word favorite, and one's still going to be a priority of the other one.
No, but because both of them are a priority at that point.
One is still going to be prioritized over the other, though.
Full-blown relationships, 2 full-blown relationships.
One is still going to be prioritized over the other, though.
No, that's
no
not
matter
true.
what.
That's
There's
not
no
true.
such thing
That's
as
not true.
these two people have the same exact.
That's not true.
So
That's not true.
No,
How is it not
it
true?
is true. That's true. There's no such thing as two identical relationships because it's not including two identical people.
Well,
Even if
I
you
mean,
took,
of course,
even
the
if you took two
relationships are
sets,
gonna.
even
That's
if
what
you
I'm trying
took
to say.
two
You just
sets
want
of
to argue.
twins,
One is
Christ.
always going to be prioritized over the other one,
Jesus
no matter
Christ.
what.
Jesus Christ.
it's gonna be different. So even in the sense of okay, I'm gonna take her on a trip and I'm gonna take her on a trip, but the one that he's gonna do a little extra for, like, oh, I'm gonna take her to a little place a little nicer than the one that I took that one. That's showing priority or favor or whatever word y'all
But
want
what
to use.
about when they don't do that? I wish my uncle was here because I watched my uncle do it with 2 women.
We're on a cliff. I'm holding both of
I
y'all. I
watched.
have both of y'all
No,
lives in
on
my
this
hand.
clip, that
One of
don't
y'all
got
is
nothing
going
to
to get
do with
let go.
that. That don't got nothing to do with this conversation.
It
Sorry.
has everything to do with this conversation.
Like you said, it wasn't needed.
It has everything to do with this
Like
conversation.
Timothy,
I'm trying to prove my point that there's always going to be a priority.
do equal for these women, and I used to ask
Okay,
him
but
like, how do you do
guarantee
that?
your uncle
Like,
still liked
hey,
one,
Jesus
even if
fucking
it was
Christ.
just a smidget. He liked
Yeah,
one a little bit more than the other.
no, I watched him do equal for both women, and
Okay,
that's
well,
what
I
that's what
guarantee
made
you,
right.
me
if he had to save
understand.
one of their lives, he would choose which one or the
What
other.
made me
Now this
understand.
the thing.
That's what made me understand that you can literally love two people.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
You
love
well,
just
two
you
people.
won't
in
Yeah,
love
an
that's
them. You
instance,
possible.
won't love
in an
them the
instance,
same because you
in
love them for different reasons. That's it.
right,
Yeah,
right. But even in an instance like that, that
and one of
just
those
sounds
reasons
like
you're gonna
wait,
prioritize over the other.
wait. Well, even in the example that she's giving, I'm not going to use her uncle because I don't know her uncle and I'm not trying to personalize it. But say that archetype of a type of man, that just sounds like a lazy dude to me. Like, you know what? It's Valentine's Day coming up. I got to get something for my woman and my other woman. He goes to one store and buys the same thing twice.
No,
That's just being lazy.
it didn't go. It wouldn't go
That's just
like
being
that.
lazy.
It wouldn't.
That's just being lazy.
It
You
wouldn't
know what?
go. It
I'm gonna
wouldn't go
buy her a purse.
specifically
Give
like
me two
that.
of those. Give me two of those purses. So now I copped her one and copped her one. That's the same, but it wasn't that thought out for the man. It was just give me two of them.
Or
You know
maybe
what I'm
it's
saying?
let me get that one and let me get that one. Not saying that they get the same exact thing, but let me get that one. Let me get that bracelet, and I want that bracelet. Can you wrap both of them up?
Right. And one of them gonna be
The only thing I used to, the only
$2,000,
thing,
and one of them
the
gonna be $1,200.
the only thing that I would see my uncle do is when it came to perfume. Perfume was always the same.
Because that was for him. That
No,
was
that was so that if I'm with her,
oh, I can come home. Right. It was for him. So if I come home, I ain't gonna smell like nobody else's perfume. Lipstick, the same thing.
that's the only thing that I would see him do the same. And that's what made me realize that you absolutely could. Because I would talk with him and he was like, no, I just love both of them. I love them for different reasons, but I love both of them.
And that's
But
true. I agree that that's
he just
possible.
don't look. I don't think he loved them equally though.
Exactly.
But right, I just
One
said
of
he
them,
loved them for
push
One of
come
them
to
different
he
shove,
loved a
if he
little
reasons.
had
bit
to
more.
lose one, he would have chose.
He loved them for different reasons, and he didn't see
And
himself
he
ever
would have
choosing.
chose,
And
based
he
on
was
those
with both of
reasons,
them. He's still with
he would
both
have
of them
chose
women.
which one
And this
he
is
could have
going
did
on
without.
40 years with both women.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, push come to shove. If he had to lose one, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. He has to lose one. He would make a choice.
I don't think so.
So he would choose to lose both,
Oh
is what
my
you're saying.
God. I don't think so. I mean, he's just never had that scenario hasn't
Okay, so
come
let's
about.
remove your uncle. Any guy.
That scenario hasn't come about. So
Okay, so that's
I
why I
don't
said let's
know.
remove your uncle. So let's remove your uncle since that he hasn't had to make that choice. Any other man that's in your same situation as your uncle, 40 years in, but now comes the day that one of these is going to have to go, and
I don't
he
know.
can make the choice.
I don't know.
He's gonna make a choice.
I
There ain't
don't
no
know.
ifs, ands, or buts. That's just how the world works. He
Sometimes they
has to make
don't.
a choice, and based on the reasons why he loves each one, he's going to prioritize one love or the other.
I guess.
That's just the way the world works.
I guess. Sometimes they be like, I ain't leaving either one of y'all. Y'all both staying. And the women
No,
stay.
but that's what I'm saying. That's not the choice, though.
And the women
One
stay.
has to go, and it's his decision on who has to go. Like he has come to this. He has accepted the reality that one of them has to go, and he's going to make a decision. A woman would do the same exact thing. She's loved these two dudes for 50 years, but the day has come where she accepted the reality that
I
one of
think
them
that's
has to go, and it's her
selfish
decision.
because especially if the women and the men know about each other. Like I think that would be selfish. Like why would you want to make me choose 50 years later? Like the fuck? Why
We're doing
now?
this because we're comparing it to your uncle.
No,
9 out
I'm
of
saying
10, that's not a normal situation.
I think that would be selfish. That's what I'm saying to
What would
you.
be selfish?
For anybody to try to make me choose after all that time.
No, we're not talking about someone's making them choose. I'm pretty sure you've seen movies where one of these two people got to die. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We can either all die or only one person has to die?
Yeah,
Your choice.
well, I'm saying, me personally, if it was me in that situation, I would think that if one of them or both of them came and said, you know what, I'm tired, we got to choose, I would feel like that was being selfish. Because why I got to choose them?
Yeah, but they
I
didn't
ain't
know
have to
about each
choose.
other, I'm
I ain't
assuming.
have to choose in 2 decades. 3, 4,
Yeah, I
5
mean,
decades.
but
Now I got
now
to
you're changing the
choose.
argument. Now you're changing the argument.
But I think
My
that
whole
would be the
point is
selfishness. I
one of
feel
them is
like
going to
that would
have
be
a
the.
priority.
I feel like that would be the selfishness in me, though.
Okay. I mean, you like to personalize things, but
I'm not
one of them was going to
anything.
have
I'm
priority,
just being honest. Why can't
and
I
that's
be
fine.
honest? Why can't I
That's
feel
fine.
like it would be selfish? I feel like it would be selfish. To me,
Okay,
that's
that's
not
fine.
personalizing anything. That's just giving my honest opinion on how I would may feel if it was me in that situation. I may
That's
I
literally the
may
definition of
say that
personalizing.
they're being selfish, but in all reality, I'm being selfish.
Your uncle is being selfish.
I guess.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of how your uncle feel about both of them, one of them he would make the priority of the other one. That's just how nature
Yeah,
works.
I don't
Well, he's
know.
never had to. He's gotten away
Right.
with
I
So
know
does that.
he's never had to. He's never been faced with that. But would you agree that if he is faced with that one of them it may take him a while to ponder it, but he would process and he would make a decision on who was the priority. Would you agree with that, Jose?
No, because it's never going to happen. If it ever happened in 40 years, it's never going to happen. He's going to get away with it until the day he died. He got
Okay,
away
but
with
so
that.
I don't think that you understand what I'm saying either.
Now, I
I'm
understand what
saying
you're saying,
if
but
No,
he
he
you just
got
has
can't
away
to
with
force
do
it
it.
too long.
people. You can't force people to agree with you because that's how you
No,
think the situation should go.
I'm
That's
not
what we're
saying that
talking
he
about.
has to agree with me. I just want to make
So
sure that he
if he
understands
had
what
to,
I'm
he would.
saying.
If
He
he had to,
has
he
to
would.
make this decision, Jose.
He would. I think that he would. If he had to, he would. I think that
You
he
think
would
that he would
definitely
what?
pick one of them. If he had to, I think he would.
Exactly. And that's
But
all
he's
I've
never
been
had
saying the
to.
whole time.
I think he would. He's
True,
just gotten
he
away with it
hasn't
for some.
had
Well,
to, so therefore he's been able to live in his truth and live his best life and all of
but
that.
we're assuming
All I'm saying
something
is if
here
he
that they don't know
had
about
to,
each other,
that everyone on this planet has a priority, right?
right? But
You know
we're
what I'm saying? And let's
assuming.
remove it from relationships. Let's move it to, like, hey, I'm a wealthy guy. I'm able to live wherever I want, right? But if I had to choose a place I got 6 houses. If I had to choose one house, one of those houses is going to take priority over the other 5.
But you know what? We're assuming that these two women don't know about each other. They may know about each other. We don't know
I
that.
mean, they absolutely do know about each other after all these years.
Well, then there's
But
no
not
choice
talking
then.
about your uncle.
They're
That's what he
cool
was
with
saying.
it.
Not talking about your uncle. That's why I was saying even I wanted to take that out of it because I didn't want
No,
it to be
Yeah,
personalized.
we're just talking about in general, just
I mean,
generally
in
Right.
in life,
general,
but
period.
I don't
there
think
are
that anybody
circumstances
can
where that's
carry on
okay.
a relationship for 5 decades or 4 decades and the people don't eventually find out about each other.
Okay, so that's why we're removing that. So
That's
the initial thing that Tim was talking about was prioritizing. Like, hey, okay, I got this chick, I got this other chick over here that I love, and she does all of these things, but my wife has a priority because she's my wife. You brought up like, oh, well, what if they're equal? And all I was saying was like, no, one of them is always going to have the priority, whether it be the side chick or the main chick. He's going to
But
prioritize one of them two.
but now here's a different scenario. When you deal with the African continent, they absolutely do have men with more than one wife, and both of them are treated exactly the same. And there's no problem with that once they're treated exactly the same. So
I
that's a
agree
different scenario
that they
that we're
could be treated
talking
exactly the
about.
same. But what
Right,
I'm
but there's a
saying
different
is,
scenario, but that's a consensual situation. But you
well,
have
what
to
I'm
treat
saying
them the
is,
same. He
even though
has a
that they're
house,
treated
she
exactly the
has a
same,
house.
there's
Right.
one of those two. It's like going to the old saying that people love their kids equally, right? When you know that most parents have their favorite kid.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Is like one of them is his favorite.
But when you're talking about a polygamous relationship, you don't have to choose because it's a cultural thing, and they're okay once they're treated equally. They don't have a problem with it. I have a house, you have a house. You take care of the kids. I help you take care of your kids, and it's not a problem. It's never been a problem. But
Well,
now
yeah, I'm not talking about if everyone's good with it. I'm not talking about if everyone's good with it. I'm talking about if the situation comes where you have to make a decision.
Right. So why don't we
That
go back
person's
to
going to make a decision.
So why don't we go back to our African culture and make it not be a problem if I want more than one wife once I could treat them the
That's
same?
just
What is the
only the
problem with that?
African culture.
So
That's
so
not
that
gonna
goes
fit.
back to
What
the
is the problem
analogy
with
that
that?
I use with me being a wealthy man with 6 houses. I can maintain them all 6, so it's not a problem. But if for whatever reason, like, hey, oh shoot, times I fell in hard times, so now I gotta sell off 5 houses. I have to prioritize which one I want to keep. That's me having to make a decision.
So why can't we
Do
go
And
you
you're
back?
going
understand
to
now?
bring that back to what I was saying, it's going to be based on the value that you see in that particular house. Going back to me saying the wife versus the side chick.
Exactly.
The wife is going to have is going to be a sense of more value there. My kids are here. Me and her that went through thick and thin. Yeah, me and old girl over here, we have fun. She makes me feel wonderful and all of that. But at the end of the day, this is where the value is.
Sometimes when people stay with their spouse based on them just because they was together for a certain amount of time, not because they value them more.
I mean, that happens too. Like that's the same as, hey, I'm not getting a divorce because she's gonna take me to the cleaners. But Tim's not talking about that. Tim's talking about he actually sees value in his wife over the other chick.
I know what Tim is talking about. Like y'all be
Yeah.
acting like I can't understand things. Like that shit gets on my nerves. But there's other
Then
nuances
why
Some of
to
the
bring
it.
up a
stuff that you
new
says
There,
make it seems like you don't understand.
there's other. Why? Because you don't agree with it. I
but
don't
why
agree with
bring
things
in
that you
if
say.
we
So
if
what are
we're
you talking
talking
about?
about
I mean,
something
things you say don't make
specific,
sense.
if we were talking about
Tim,
something
I think Tim, would you
specific,
say, Tim?
I was saying if we're talking about something specific, a specific type and a specific setting, why bring in a nuance?
I mean, because that's what everybody does in conversations. You've
No,
done
they
it in
don't.
this conversation. I've done it in this conversation. He's done it in this conversation. Nuances happen in conversations.
Right.
If you're trying to prove a point,
I don't take issue with nuance as long as the point gets acknowledged. Like that.
I mean, but
That's
when
why.
you
Like
brought
even with Meech was like, yes, we do know that happens, but we're not talking about that. We know that everything exists. We know that we somewhere you can find a 4'5" man with a 6'8" woman that's 560 pounds. That exists somewhere. Is it normal? Is it something we see every day? No, but it exists somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Acknowledging something
But
exists
the
don't
thing
mean
is,
that
it's like,
it's regular.
so we all live different lives. We all live different paths. We've all seen different things. Just because you haven't seen something and it's not normal in your environment, it may be normal in my environment. So let's not try to dismiss each other's thing. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna
but
go
we
on
weren't
mute
talking
and y'all
about.
could go
But
ahead
what
and
we were
finish
talking
having
about
this
has nothing to do with
conversation.
environments, though.
Y'all could go ahead and have this conversation. I'm good.
Yeah, we was talking about had nothing to do with environments.
Yep. So man, I would play another clip, but the clips just say the same. I had listened to them and they just say the same thing over and over and over and over again. But again, the bringing it back to the topic of how we pass judgment. The relationship we have with sex is why it's more acceptable for a man to have a side chick than it would be for a woman to have a dude on the side. Well, I don't know. I think, but that goes back to the value and how you view, because I don't think that a dude would have a problem being the side chick of a woman that he didn't value. Like if he valued this woman and said I wanted her to be mine, he'll absolutely have a problem with her smashing other dudes. But in the example, goddamn, Jose. But in the example that she gave earlier, where there's a man that equally loves two women and they know about each other, you see what I'm saying? Like, how does that work? Because I guess men are ego is our ego, pride or something like that. But no man is okay with the idea of another man smashing his woman.
Yeah, they should not one that he cares about like that.
Not right. That's what I'm talking about. That he cares about like that. That he actually loves, and this is the wife, not the side chick. Like the
But what
side
if
chick,
that's
he'll
their
have no
kink?
problem
What if
sharing.
that's what they're into?
Well, and that's true. That nuance does exist. There are swingers and all of that that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But swingers is also fringe.
You think?
I
I
don't.
think that this stuff is starting to happen more than we would like to imagine or think. I'm starting to think that this stuff is happening more and more.
And I agree with you. I think that swingers and poly relationships and all of that are becoming more prevalent. But I also
Still not
think the
normal.
reason. No. Well, I'm saying that I still don't believe that people that have those type of relationships express love in the way I'm describing. I'm not saying that they don't love their partner or whatever and whatnot. I'm just speaking from my understanding, my definition, my framework. You know, for me to say that I go to the ends of the earth and die for this woman, but she can go smash another dude because I'm not satisfying her, and that's the reason, and I'm cool with that. That don't sit right with me. It might sit with somebody else. They got back to the whole everything exists. They got dudes that like with the micro penises that'll sit and watch another man, and he gets off watching her do something with another man that he can't do. That makes sense to that man. Don't make sense to me.
Tim said, "Fuck all that." I don't know what we talking about.
Like that. Like, you just know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like
That might make perfect sense to that man. But again, the reason why it makes sense to that man is because his relationship he has with sex. If he knows that he has a micro penis. So that absolutely governs his relationship with sex, because he's never gonna have an experience what that Mandingo is gonna have with it. Mandingo can sleep on a woman's, can never have his own place. He go couch surfing from woman to woman to woman, and every woman is cool with that because they know he's bringing Mandingo. But the dude with the micro penis, he gotta be exceptional just to get somebody to flick that little Mickey Fick. Danita, you gonna play with my frog?
Don't play with my frog is crazy.
I thought you was gonna play with my frog, Danita. Your frog
I think
ain't
that,
jumping in the right direction.
in Timothy, you know how my mind works. I just think that a lot of the things that we think people aren't into, and we say, "Oh, it ain't no people that is men that think like that." We be surprised. We'd be fully fucking
Well, I'm not
surprised.
saying that. I'm just saying that it goes back to, like I was mentioning earlier, there's man logic and there's women logic. I've had conversations with many women in the back chat about this. There's certain things that men view as degrading and demeaning, and that's how he sees it. And he would never want to do these acts with his wife. Don't mean he don't want to do those acts. He just does. He don't want to think. He doesn't want to think of his wife or his woman as this particular type of woman that he associates with those particular acts. So he'll go
Yeah, I
do
get
those
that.
acts with the women that he don't value, skeet all in her face, all in her eye, and you know what I'm saying, not knowing that that's his wife's fantasy. That's what she want to do. That she wants that, but she can't bring that to him out of fear of he's gonna reject me and possibly leave me because of how he views those acts. That could be something and that's why a lot of women cheat and have side dudes and stuff too, for the same exact reason that the men have side chicks. It's almost 2 hours. I'm about to get off here and cook dinner soon for my kids. Go ahead, Jose. He back. He was having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I just came back and say goodnight, but I'm ready to go to sleep. So I'll talk to you guys again.
Oh, right on. Yeah, there. Because it's like 11 over there in Trinidad.
That's exactly what time it is. I need to go lay down. Ole's kicking it.
Oh God, here we go, acting like an old man.
All right, later. I'll talk to you guys later.
All
All
right,
right.
appreciate you for coming
All
on.
right, have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
just,
let's end this on some positive things.
Did
That
you
was
just?
positive energy right there.
Yeah, you over there humming?
I did the
I'm gonna
I
send
did
you
that.
some.
Oh, my camera
I'm gonna send.
wasn't on. I thought my camera was on. I was over here like this.
I'm gonna send you some different frequencies.
I was over here like this. You know what I'm saying? But no,
I'll
this
send
was
you
a
some.
good conversation. This was a good conversation. It's one of those. I like to have conversations that need to be had because as men and women, we think that we're so different, but we're so much alike. It's just the difference in how we perceive things, and that creates the man and the woman logic. Because like the last example I just gave, a man will see a particular set of sexual acts as something that he would do with a rat or skis, somebody he wouldn't respect, and he would never want to think that his woman would do such acts, not knowing that his wife is fantasizing about those things and want to do those things with him.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody, but with him. But so you know what I mean?
But he probably, like you said, she probably want to do it and scared to go to him, and he probably scared to go to her.
Well, and the example I gave is he don't want to go to her because he don't want to think of his wife as the type of woman that's okay with being peed on.
Right, but it could be a case with no, but I get it. Like it could be both ways. You 100% right about that way. See, I just be liking to think. I always like to put myself in both sides of the story. You
Yeah,
feel what
I
I'm
do that
saying?
too. I do that too. I'm an egalitarian right with you. Devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. I do that too. I like that. I like to see things from both sides, which is why I have an understanding that the whole you're never gonna control what a woman does. Like the example I gave earlier, when a man is like, "Oh, can you go change?" That's disrespectful what you got on. Then she go change and be like, "How was this?" He's like, "All right, cool." Did she leave and go smash the dude wearing the husband approved outfit? Oh boy, peeling it off. And the husband at home, I got my woman in check. I just told her to change, and she went in there and changed. See, little youngsters. That's how you got to have your women, not knowing that while he boasting and beating his chest to his homeboys, she busting it. She didn't took that outfit off and it's laying on the floor while she's smashing somebody else. The whole husband approved outfit. You know what I mean?
The husband approved outfit is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, why you dressed like that, babe? Yeah, my husband told me to put this on. Well, let me come and
Right.
take it. Let me take it off.
My husband told me to wear this.
No, he gonna tell her, let me take it off. Let me help you up out of that. I just think that people need to be more honest. Honesty is like just what it is, and I think people are afraid to lose what they want, so that's what stops them from being honest.
Right. Well, it's more than that. A lot of people will have an issue with being honest with what it is they want, which is why you get the dudes that want the virgin that's some type of Adina Howard freak. That's gonna make sense because they want that, but like I said, a lot of men don't want their woman in his mind to be a hoe in his mind. Emphasis on in his mind. Because he attributes these particular acts with hoe stuff because that's the only time he's ever seen it. He's only seen it on P flicks, you know what I'm saying, in the strip club doing crazy stuff. So he associates mentally these actions with those settings that have that connotation. Not
It's the
just
old saying, lady in the streets, freak in the sheets.
Right.
So it's like they want the classy chick when they're out in public, but they want you to get, down and dirty.
Yeah, but then when you start doing certain things, they be like, "Where you get that from?" Oh
Right.
my God.
Well, it's like how they treated Darius McQuarrie, whatever his name is, Eddie Winslow. When he first got with Superhead, everybody was like, you and wiped up the hoe. And he came out and said, all of y'all just mad that y'all can't get their head no more. Because she's not doing it now. Because even though she had this whole reputation, when she got with him and that was her man, her husband, she was faithful to him. So that punches a hole in that whole narrative too. Just because she behaves this particular way doesn't mean that when she gets a man, she can't be focused and bond to that man.
Yeah,
because we know hoes and rats that get married all the matter of fact, most hoes and rats that I know from back in the day married right now.
I do believe that people can change, you know what I'm saying, over time, right? So you young and dumb, that's what they like to blame it on, young and dumb. So you could be young doing, crazy stuff and all of that when you're young. Because just like you said, Tim, I know some also, right? That's like, oh, wow, you got a whole dude now? Like, I thought that you would, you know what I'm saying? And then even more surprising, only had one kid, you know what I'm saying, with said husband, so it's like people can change, right? So in the Eddie Winslow case, I agree with him. It's like, yeah, dude, y'all just mad because she ain't giving y'all the sloppy toppy no more. It's just all mine now. So I don't believe that people's past can definitely dictate their future. I mean, yeah, you can look at it and be like, okay, I can see what you're capable of, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you always gonna be.
Tim, have you ever read her book?
No, but I've spoken to thousands of women that have read it, and I know that it is very interesting. And she breaks down all because the women went through this whole thing where they were trying to decode the names that she was using. I think such and such is LL Cool J, and I think so and so is such as.
Yeah, but how she started, doing it, like she's Coogee Rap used to whip her. When I tell you, beat her badly for not doing it right or doing it on demand. Because that's who she had the first baby with. That was her boyfriend, Coogee Rap.
Yeah, Coogee Rap did her foul. All right.
Like, certain time when she would have lockjaw at times.
Right. He every dude that got the super has to tip their hat to Coogee Rap for making her.
And I think it was Jamie Foxx who inspired her to write her book.
As long as you just don't write it, just change the names. Don't put me in it.
Exactly.
Jamie Foxx inspired her to write her book, but she talks about how he treated her very well. Lil Wayne treated her well, and Bobby Brown treated her well. Like they didn't treat her like she wasn't shit.
Yep. But I gotta get my kids some dinner. We'd have been on here 2 hours.
All right.
I appreciate you for coming on, both of y'all. Light, I know it's late for you, so always. I think next week we can talk about that WNBA draft. What was the other topic I had?
Yeah, the dudes, the NBA players.
I think that's just
crazy. Oh, I got a clip for you from the DL Whisperer about that.
What was the other topic?
Generations, the generations of I guess pointing a finger.
Okay. No, it was so today we did the relationship with sex. The other two are the WNBA draft and the dudes, or the death of the village.
Yeah.
So y'all want to do the death of the village?
You do either one.
The WNBA, it don't matter. I'm here for it. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, because the WNBA one will be more of a political show because it's about a political topic, gender identity.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
Yep. If y'all still here, like and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Ain't nobody here but a couple people. I'm just... I appreciate the people that did rock to the end. All right.
All right. Later.
Yep.